Hello and welcome back to School BHCNs. We are so glad to have you once again here in the campus. It's been 2 years that we had distance learning, and for school year 2022-2023, we are opening the school for you to have better and more interactive, collaborative, and interesting learning experience. I would like to welcome you for today's orientation. As we move forward to face classes, there are important things that we should be reminded of. But before that, let us first remember that we are in the holy presence of our Almighty Father through an opening prayer. This will be followed by the singing of the Philippine National Anthem, of the La Union Hymn, San Fernando City Hymn, and BHC Hymn.
Dear Lord, we thank you for the gift of life today. You allow us to have another day to praise you and see your glory. Thank you for the love and protection, especially this time of pandemic. Bless us, Father, with your wisdom as we begin our class. Help us to focus our hearts and minds on what we are about to learn. Inspire us by your Holy Spirit as we think and listen. Guide us by your eternal light as we discover more about the world around us. Lord, we thank you and let your will be done in our lives. We ask all this in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen.
Onward, the city of San Fernando. Onward, together we go. Agay-ayat kadakay amin, hindi opisyalis, yung courteous and professional. The city employees are sugar-loving residents working together, caring, sharing as we force ahead. Forward, your city of San Fernando, until the new millennium we go forward, the city of San Fernando. Forward, your city of San Fernando, until the new millennium we go forward, the city of San Fernando. Onward, the city of San Fernando. Onward, together we go. Agay-ayat kadakay amin, hindi opisyalis, yung courteous and professional. The city employees are sugar-loving residents working together, caring, sharing as we forge ahead. Forward, the city of San Fernando, until the new millennium we go forward, the city of San Fernando. Forward, the city of San Fernando, after the new millennium we go forward, the city of San Fernando.
All right, so again, to our dear students, I would like to welcome you back to school and welcome you to this orientation for school year 2022-2023 for limited face-to-face classes. Okay, so to start with, let us first cascade to you the updated vision, mission, and core values that we, your teachers and administrators, have agreed upon with. So here is now the updated vision of the school. We envision BHC as the school of excellence. So we already removed the phrase in the north. We just had it, we envision BHC as the school of excellence because our vision is not just in the north, but internationally. That's why we agreed on this vision, the updated vision. I hope you could memorize this. We envision BHC as the school of excellence. Next one is our mission. So for our mission, we just added 3 words so that the updated mission now is to offer a dynamic basic education program geared towards providing unlimited opportunities and varied modalities to learners to develop their knowledge, skills, attitude, and values. As you can see, we added a phrase and varied modalities because we also wanted to adapt to this changing situation. So that is our mission. Again, to offer a dynamic basic education program geared towards providing unlimited opportunities and varied modalities to learners to develop their knowledge, skills, attitude, and values. Third, we have our core values. So as you can see, so that we would easily remember our core values, we had it done as an acrostic. We placed phrases and words for each letter of BHCEI. So for our first core value, letter B, we have built on Christian values because we wanted that Christian values will be your foundation, that you will be founded on Christian values. Next one, H is humility. So this is one of the previous core values. C is compassion. This is another new core value because we also wanted to have it expressed or have it integrated in us. This value, compassion. And E is excellence. It's one of the previous core values as well. And finally, ingenuity. It's also one of the previous core values. Okay, so for our core values, we now have 5 that gives a meaning to each letter of BHCEI. We have B, built on Christian values, H, humility, C, compassion, E, excellence, and I, ingenuity. All right, so let us recite all together the vision, mission, and core values of our school. All together, vision. We envision BHC as the school of excellence. Mission, to offer a dynamic basic education program geared towards providing unlimited opportunities and varied modalities to learners to develop their knowledge, skills, attitude, and values. Core values built on Christian values: humility, compassion, excellence, ingenuity. We do not want that you will just have to memorize this. We would want that you will integrate this into your system, that you possess the vision, mission, and core values, and that you will also see the vision, mission, and core values integrated in the lessons of the different subjects. The next part of our orientation is the introduction of the administration, the high school faculty, and staff. Let's start off with our school president, Mrs. Lorena H. Kakdak, also known as Ma'am Lorena. Ma'am Lorena is our school president. Next, we have Mrs. Loretta I. Sepriaso, also known as Teacher Lori. Teacher Lori is the school director, the guidance advocate, and also a teacher of entrepreneurship for senior high school and ESP for junior high school. Next is Mr. Danilo M. Laroya Jr., also known as Teacher Danny. Teacher Danny is the high school principal, and he also teaches math and statistics for senior high school and mathematics for junior high school. Next is Mr. Roberto C. Lilina, also known as Teacher Robert. Teacher Robert is the elementary principal and he teaches science for junior high school. We also have Mr. Albert P. Valdez, also known as Teacher Albert. Teacher Albert is the property management officer and teaches computer for senior high school and junior high school. Next is Mr. Sonny I. Guerrero, also known as Teacher Sonny. He is the prefect of discipline and also teaches ESP for junior high school. We also have Miss Therese Ann G. Padilla, also known as Teacher Therese. She is a grade 7 advisor and teaches MAPE, Filipino for junior high school and senior high school. A new addition to the high school faculty is Miss Jerable May Riataza, also known as Teacher Jera. She is a new teacher and an advisor of grade 7. She teaches English and AP for junior high school and English for senior high school. Next one is Mrs. Grace A. Holt, also known as Teacher Grace. She is the academic coordinator and an advisor of grade 8. She teaches science for junior high school and research in science for senior high school. Another addition to the roster of high school faculty is Ms. Nestle Lacandazo, also known as Teacher Nestle. She's a new teacher and an advisor of grade 8. She teaches English and AP for junior high school and English for senior high school. Next one is Mr. Brian Ancheta, also known as Teacher Brian. He is the SSG advisor and an advisor of grade 9. He teaches TLE for junior high school and PE for senior high school. Another addition to the roster of high school faculty is Miss Angeline Rabaha, also known as Teacher Angeline. She's a new teacher and an advisor of grade 9. She teaches science for both junior high school and senior high school. Next is Mrs. Annabel Doctolero, also known as Teacher Bell. She is the faculty president and an advisor of grade 10. She teaches math for junior high school and physics and math for senior high school. Another addition to the roster of high school faculty is Mr. Marvin Vidad, also known as Teacher Marvs. He is a new teacher and an advisor of grade 10. He teaches TLE and MAPE for junior high school. Next is Mr. Joby Bangas, also known as Teacher Joby. He is an advisor of grade 11. He teaches English for junior high school and English and PE for senior high school. Another addition to the roster of high school faculty is Ms. Jessica Jem Lorzano, also known as Teacher Jem. She is a new teacher and an advisor of grade 11. She teaches math for junior high school and senior high school. Next one is Miss Precious Joy Kabutotan, also known as Teacher Precious. She is an advisor of grade 12. She teaches science for junior high school and senior high school. Next one is Mr. Ferdinand Nones, also known as Teacher Ferdy. He is an advisor of grade 12. He teaches AP for junior high school and ABM subjects for senior high school. We also have the different school personnel. Mrs. Madeline Vera, our registrar, Mrs. Rochelle Jane Valdez, our school nurse, Mrs. Janice Abad, our librarian, and Mrs. Loretta Sepriaso, our guidance advocate. So that's it for the different administrators, faculty, and staff of BHC Educational Institution. We'll now proceed to the simulation video for the conduct of limited face-to-face classes. Dear students, I would like you to focus and pay attention to this video because more or less we're going to follow strictly these protocols as we conduct the limited face-to-face classes. So here it goes.
Despite the challenges brought about by the pandemic, BHC Educational Institution ensures that its culture of excellence is maintained and that student learning continues even at the comfort of their homes. Now, after 2 years of undergoing online and modular distance learning, it's high time to open the school and welcome you inside the campus. Thus, for school year 2022 to 2023, we introduce to you, our dear learners, the hybrid learning modality of BHC Educational Institution, where we combine limited face-to-face classes and online distance learning. As we enter the campus, there are some health protocols that need to be followed. arrival to school of preschool and elementary pupils with private vehicles. Private vehicles should stop upon reaching the main gate. Only the learners will alight. Please be reminded that the parents are not allowed to enter the main gate. Have your temperatures checked through the thermal scanner. Your advisor will record your temperature. Sanitize. After your temperature has been checked, sanitize using the alcohol. After sanitizing, proceed to your respective holding areas. Holding area. The holding area for preschool to grade 3 is at the quadrangle, while the holding area for grade 4 is at the stage. Moreover, the holding area for grades 5 and 6 is at the canteen. Arrival to school of preschool and elementary who commute. Those who are commuting should enter the southern gate. The main entrance of the school is at the southern gate, and the main exit is at the northern gate. After the temperature check and sanitization, proceed to your respective holding areas. Arrival to school of junior high school and senior high school students with private vehicles. Private vehicles should stop at the southern gate of the covered court. Junior high school and senior high school students should enter at the southern gate of the covered court. Have your temperatures checked through the thermal scanner. Sanitize using the alcohol. After temperature check and sanitization, proceed to your holding area. The holding area for junior high school and senior high school is at the covered court. Markers are placed so that you could identify where to proceed. After the assembly at the holding area, proceed to your respective corridors, passing through the southern gate of the covered court. Junior high school students will proceed to the main gate and go to their respective corridors. While senior high school students will proceed to their respective corridors at the senior high school building. For high school commuters, proceed right away to the southern gate of the covered court. Same health protocols will be observed: temperature check and sanitization. Entrance to the classroom. After the assembly at the holding areas, proceed to your respective corridors before entering the classroom. Before entering your respective classrooms, make sure to sanitize. Upon entering your classrooms, follow the arrows on the floor. The first person to enter will occupy the last seat at the last row. When inside the classroom, observe physical distancing, whispering, hugging, loitering, and borrowing of personal things are not allowed. When going to the comfort rooms, raise your hand and ask permission from the teacher. Follow the arrows on the floor in going out. Wash your hands with soap and running water after using the comfort room or as often as possible. Before going back to your respective classrooms, do not forget to sanitize. Before dismissal, copy the reminders written on the board to your diary. Before going out of your classrooms, have your diary signed by your advisor. When going out, the last person to enter is the first person to exit. Upon exit from your classrooms, line up at your respective corridors. For preschool to grade 4 pupils waiting for their guardians or parents to fetch them, they will go back to their respective classrooms. For grade 5 to senior high school students waiting for their parents or guardians to fetch them, they will proceed to their holding areas. For symptomatic individuals, they will be brought to the isolation area. Classrooms will be routinely disinfected every day after class. Welcome back, BHCians, to BHC Educational Institution Incorporated, the School of Excellence.
So there you go, our dear students. I hope you were able to properly and carefully watch our simulation video for the conduct of limited face-to-face classes here at BHC Educational Institution Incorporated. Don't worry, because we have sent the link of the YouTube video of the simulation for the limited face-to-face classes in the group chat, and we have also posted it in our BHC page so that you could watch it over and over again. All right? So the next video is about earthquake drill. We know that we have just recently experienced an earthquake, and we are praying and hoping that it will never happen again, that kind of uh, earthquake. But of course, we do not know if it will still happen or not, but it's important that we are prepared. That's why our next video will help us to gain more knowledge and awareness on what to do before, during, and after an earthquake. So again, please pay attention and watch carefully the video on earthquake drill.
Ang lindol ay ang mahina hanggang sa malakas na pagyanig, dulot ng paggalaw ng mga bato sa ilalim ng lupa. Tinatayang 20 lindol ang nagaganap sa Pilipinas bawat araw. Masyadong mahina ang ilan sa mga ito, kaya hindi sila nararamdaman.
Ilan sa mga posibleng panganib ng lindol ay ang ground rupture o pagbitak ng lupa, pagguho ng mga gusali, ground shaking o pagyanig, liquefaction o pag-aastang malatubig ng kalupaan, landslide o pagguho at tsunami.
Maaaring magkaroon ng ground rupture o yung pagbitak ng lupa sa lugar na tinatahak ng active fault. Hatid naman ng malakas na lindol mula sa ilalim ng dagat ang panganib ng tsunami. Upang makaiwas sa mga panganib na hatid ng lindol, maging laging handa.
Siguraduhin matibay ang inyong tahanan at alamin ang panganib sa inyong lugar. Siguraduhin matibay ang pagkakabit ng mga nakabiting bagay at ligtas ang pagkakalagay ng mga mabibigat na kasangkapan. Huwag magpatong ng babasaging kasangkapan sa ibabaw ng cabinet. Sa halip, ilagay ang mga ito at ang mga mabibigat na gamit sa pinakailalim ng cabinet. At sa ligtas na lugar naman, ang mga nakakalasong kemikal at mga bagay na madaling magliyab. Ugaliing isara ang tangke ng gas pagkatapos itong gamitin. Alamin ang mga emergency exit at ang pinakamabilis at pinakaligtas na daan patungo rito. Alamin kung paano gamitin ang fire extinguisher at emergency alarm. Nararapat na may signage ang mga ito at nakalagay sa mga lugar na accessible at madaling puntahan. Makilahok sa mga earthquake drill at regular itong isagawa.
Kapag lumilindol at ikaw ay nasa loob ng gusali,
Manatiling mahinahon sa lahat ng oras. Gawin ang duck, cover, and hold technique. Yumuko, magtago sa ilalim ng matibay na lamesa at hawakan ang mga paa nito. Kung walang lamesa, pumunta sa matibay na bahagi ng bahay, lumuhod o mag-squat, takpan ang ulo at batok ng inyong kamay. Umiwas sa mga bagay na madaling mabasag, mabibigat at maaaring bumagsak.
Nasa labas,
Lumayo sa mga poste, puno, gusali, pader, at iba pang bagay na maaaring matumba o bumagsak. Mainam na pumunta sa open space. Kung nagmamaneho, itabi at ihinto ang inyong sasakyan. Huwag tumawid ng tulay, overpass at flyover. Kung malapit sa dagat, mabilis na lumikas palayo dito dahil sa panganib ng tsunami. Pagkatapos ng lindol at ikaw ay nasa loob pa ng gusali, lumabas dito at pumunta sa isang open space. Tulungan sa paglikas ang mga matatanda, may kapansanan, mga bata at buntis. Gumamit ng hagdan sa halip na elevator. Huwag nang pumasok pa sa nasirang gusali dahil sa panganib ng aftershock. Kapag nasa evacuation area o open space, suriin ang sarili at mga kapamilya at sundin ang alituntunin ng lugar. Balik sa tahanan, siyasating mabuti ang tubo ng tubig at mga kawad ng kuryente. Kung may nakitang sira, isara agad ang main switch na mga ito at ipagbigay alam sa otoridad. Kung walang kuryente, huwag munang gumamit ng mga gasera at kandila dahil sa posibilidad ng gas leakage na maaaring magdulot ng sunog.
tamang kaalaman ay kahandaan. Maging ligtas, maging panatag, Pilipinas.
Okay, so there you go, our dear students. I hope again that you have paid attention to the details of this video about earthquake. And of course, we pray that that disaster will not happen again. Okay, so we are done with the two videos. The first one is on the simulation of the conduct of limited face-to-face classes. And second was the video on earthquake, the things that you need to know and the things that you need to do before, during, and after an earthquake. The next part of our orientation is about the use of the student handbook. Okay, so I believe that you were not able to use a student handbook for the past 2 years due to the pandemic, but now that you will be attending classes face-to-face, it's high time again to use our diary or the student handbook. But of course, we need to recall, we need to go over the things that can be seen inside our diary or student handbook. So I will walk you through the different parts of the diary or the student handbook, and we will be focusing on some of the parts of the diary. Okay, so let's start. So this is the cover. This is the new cover of our student handbook. At the right part, you can see the BHC logo and a picture of the building. And at the back cover, you can see the vision, the mission, and the core values. And then the first 2 pages are the following. We have the personal data sheet wherein you need to fill this out. Second one, this is very important, the enrollment agreement with BHC. So you just have to read all the conditions here. You write your name and signature as the pupil or student, your grading section, and your advisor. And that is to be attested by your father, by your mother. If your father and mother are not available, then your guardian would do. Okay, so they just have to sign this page of the diary. Your advisor will be regularly checking this page. Next one is the letter on the use of the diary and the table of contents. So if you need to know, or if you want to look at the important things that can be seen on the diary and you cannot find it, then you just have to go to the table of contents. All right. So we now have page 1 and 2. It's the history of BHC. You just have to read this on your diary once it is given already. Okay. Next, page 3 is a continuation of the history. And page 4 is the charter statement. So you can see there our vision, mission. We also have the philosophy, goals and objectives. And on page 5, you can see the core values that should be built on Christian values. You can also see on pages 5 and 6 the salient curricular features of elementary, junior, and senior high school. And on pages 7 and 8, you can see there what is expected of a BHC graduate. Who is a BHCian? Who is an elementary graduate? Who is a junior high school completer and a senior high school graduate of BHC? Then part 5, on page 8, we have the enrollment procedures, if it is done on-site or online. So you have the different steps there. And then we also have the different tuition charges that you can see on page 9 and the payment of school fees. I hope you could read them properly. We also have discounts and government subsidy or voucher program. And wherein most of you are ESC recipients and qualified senior high school voucher program recipients. ESC is for junior high school and voucher is for senior high school. And then with regard to the policies on assessment and evaluation, how we compute your grades, how we identify honors and rankings, you can see them on page 10, but it will direct you to look into DepEd Order number 8 series of 2015, which is the policy guidelines on classroom assessment for the K-12 basic education program, and the DepEd Order number 36 series of 2016, which is the policy guidelines on awards and recognition for the K-12 basic education program. So these DepEd orders are still to be used while we are waiting for a new DepEd order with regard to this. So this is still, these DepEd orders are still in effect while waiting for the new DepEd order. Okay, we will also inform you about it. Next one, okay, so this is when we're going to focus on the policies on behavior and discipline. So BHC Educational Institution Incorporated believes that human transformation must start from training the character of the child, since academic skill becomes more meaningful with proper behavior and discipline. With this, the school highly encourages all the staff and visitors in the school, the community, and everywhere to treat all children in school as members of the BHC family. Proper care to school properties and other people's properties are likewise encouraged. However, the school imposes the following policy for students to adhere. Okay, first one, policy on attendance or punctuality and tardiness. Okay, so here it is. Regular attendance and punctuality to school is greatly encouraged, for it will most certainly affect the child's performance and ability to cope with lessons taken in class. Furthermore, punctuality in fetching children after school hours is to be enforced for safety and security reasons. Should the child be absent from the class, ito na siya, he or she must undertake the following. A, present to the prefect of discipline unaccomplished excuses slip from his or her parents or guardians giving information of the cause of absence. So makikita ito sa my diary natin. The prefect of discipline will mark the excuses slip excuse or not excuse. This should be submitted before the first period class on the day he or she goes back to school. In cases where a student had been absent for 2 or more days due to an illness, the student must present a medical certificate with the excuses slip. Okay? So yan, a child who will incur absences more than 20% of the prescribed number of school days will be given failing grade and given no credit for the year level he has enrolled in. Okay, so the school principal may at his discretion and in the individual case exempt the student who exceeds the 20% limit for reasons considered valid and acceptable to the school. So this can be seen at section 73 of the 1992 Manual of Regulations for Private Schools. Okay, so how about for tardiness? So for tardiness, a student is late in class if he or she is not yet in the classroom 10 minutes after the first period class begins. Take note, late ka na kapag pumasok ka ng classroom 10 minutes after ng first period class. If a student comes to class after the first period, then he is already considered absent. A tardy student must report to the prefect of discipline to secure an admission slip before he or she proceeds to the classroom. To secure an admission slip, the student must present an excuse letter. Okay, so no late student shall be admitted to class without the admission slip from the prefect of discipline. Our prefect of discipline is Teacher Sunny. The slip shall be submitted to the first period teacher to be turned over to the advisor. Okay, so that is on attendance and tardiness. Next, on leaving the school. So once a student arrives on campus, he or she is to remain on campus. However, the school respects the right of each student to leave the school earlier only if the reason is valid, acceptable, and or urgent. Moreover, the following guidelines should be considered first. So, kailan ka pwedeng lumabas ng school? Especially nowadays na mahirap basta-basta lumabas due to the pandemic. A student may leave the school earlier than the dismissal time if he or she presents to the prefect of discipline or to the principal a letter of request for early dismissal before leaving, which can be found on the diary. If request is granted, the student presents to the guard the approved letter of request. So yan na siya. Okay, next, on proper uniform or dress code. For preschool, elementary, junior high school, and senior high school, gala uniform will be worn for 2 days and PE uniform on the 3rd day. Moreover, the above policy suggests that when wearing the gala uniform, the following should be observed. First, wear the proper gala uniform all the time when inside the campus. Second, only white undershirt is allowed. Third, only white pair of socks is allowed. And fourth, only a pair of black leather shoes is allowed. Okay? Anyway, you are given 2 months grace period before the actual wearing of your uniform. But if you have your uniform with you already, then why not? You can wear them. Next, on imposition of disciplinary action. Okay, so let's go directly to the minor offenses. So what will be the different sanctions to be given to you for minor offenses? For first offense, you will just be given a warning, but you need to write a reflection paper. Okay, you need to write there to describe what happened, what did you do, etc. And what are your reflection or realizations about what happened. So that's it. Okay. Second offense, reprimand with letter to parents. So kapag sa pangalawang beses na, you will be reprimanded with the letter to your parents. And the third offense, suspension for at least 2 days. Okay. So what are the following minor offenses? Non-wearing of proper school uniform with ID. So that's the first one, but this is not yet in effect since you're given 2 months to wear your uniform. Second, littering, vandalism, using any school facility without permission, posting, distribution, disseminating notices, leaflets, and streamers without permission, speaking unpleasant or profane words, especially during face-to-face or online classes, consistent tardiness and unexcused absences, failure to bring excused letter for absence or tardiness, leaving the classroom without permission, violation of classroom rules and regulations, hair color other than black unless natural, improper haircut for males, it should be clean cut, using gadgets during class hours unless required, long and colored nails for both males and females, earrings for boys and excessive earrings for girls, incorrigibility, yung incorrigibility pa ito yung parang hindi ka natututo sa mga ginagawa mo. Okay, so those are the different minor offenses. For major offenses, these are the sanctions. First offense is reflection paper with reprimand letter to parents. Second, suspension for at least 3 days. And third, suspension with at least 3 days with school service. And non-readmission for next school year. Okay, so what are the following major offenses? First, not observing minimum health protocols. So take note, major offense na ang hindi pag-observe ng minimum health protocols. And what are those? It's proper wearing of face mask, physical distancing, and reduced mobility. Second, non-disclosure of COVID-related health status. Baka may symptoms ka na, hindi mo pa sinasabi. So, plus pumasok ka pa, baka nakahawa ka na, di ba? Third, stealing, possession of stolen property, cheating, and any form of dishonesty. Fourth, defamation against a student, teacher, non-academic personnel, administrator, or his duly authorized representative. Fifth, disrespect to a person in authority, abusive behavior or discourtesy to teachers, school administrators, and personnel. Six, lying to a person in authority. Seven, bringing and playing with fire hydrant, explosives, and any dangerous weapons. Eight, gambling, bringing and drinking liquor, smoking and vaping includes bringing cigarettes and vape, and bringing and using prohibited and illegal drugs within the school premises. Number nine, unpleasant conduct or behavior that gravely destroy the image of the school in and off the campus. Eight, fighting, challenging to fight, or encouraging others to fight. Nine, bullying. So we will refer to letter D later on for bullying. 10, inappropriate display of affection. This includes but is not limited to hugging, kissing, or groping anywhere inside the school vicinity. 11, improper use of social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and the like, or inappropriate use of computer equipment in school or at home. 12, students are obliged to make their own original work for written works and performance tasks. Works not created originally by the student will be considered cheating, which includes but is not limited to photocopying, scanning, or taking a picture of another student's work. Plagiarism of any kind, downloading another student's work from the internet and turning it as original work. Copying and pasting website information into students' work without MLA or APA citations, copying answers from another students during summative assessments or quarterly examinations and reasonable suspicion by a teacher. 13, any student showing unpleasant pictures or acts during the conduct of online synchronous classes. All right, and for the bullying act, as you can see, it is RA number 10627, the Anti-Bullying Act of 2013. Okay, so the Committee on Anti-Bullying, the chairperson is Teacher Lori. Co-chairpersons are us, Teacher Robert and I, Teacher Danny. Vice chairperson is Teacher Sunny, the prefect of discipline. The teacher representative is Teacher Bell. PTO representative is the president-elect of the PTO. Student representative is the president-elect of the SSG High School. And community representative is the Purok leader of Purok 6 Civilian Center. What are the nature of bullying? We have physical. Ano yung mga physical? Punching, pushing, shoving, kicking, slapping, tickling, headlock, inflicting school pranks, teasing, fighting, and the use of available objects such as weapons. Those are physical bullying. Psychological or emotional bullying are any act that causes damage to a victim's psyche and or emotional well-being. Likewise, slanderous statement or accusation that causes the victim's undue emotional distress, like directing foul language or profanity at the target, name calling, tormenting, and commenting negative on victims' looks, clothes, and body. Third, cyberbullying. Any bullying done through the use of technology or any electronic means. This also includes any conduct resulting to harassment, intimidation, or humiliations through the use of text or other forms of technology, such as but not limited to texting, email, instant messaging, chatting, internet, social media, online games, or other platforms or formats such as defined in DepEd Order number 40 series of 2012. Retaliation, an act of physical or non-physical drawback by any student due to unresolved conflicts or any act against who reports bullying, who provides information during an investigation, or a witness who provides reliable information is subjected to the same offense as bullying. Ito yung parang ginantihan niya yung nagsumbong, etc. Or yung mismong victim. Now, the school committee observes the following policies on anti-bullying. So an investigation will be conducted, then they will review consolidated responses from the victim, the offender, and from witness, if any. They will provide positive sense of self and interpersonal reflection on both. They will discuss possible strategies for intervention purposes, provide a friendly settlement, and so on, then record the results and monitor. Okay, so there you go. Now, other important policies: suspension of face-to-face classes. If storm signal number 1 is raised, classes in the kindergarten are automatically suspended. Storm signal number 2 will be for elementary, junior high school, and senior high school levels. The school may likewise suspend classes in cases of conditions that may pose danger to any school client, like heavy rains, earthquakes, etc., which is held upon the discretion of the school director. However, online classes will take place depending on the availability of electric current and internet connection. Next, toys, gadgets, and jewelry and other belongings. So the students are not allowed to bring any toy or gadget in school unless specified in the diary. So use of technological gadgets like iPads, cellular phones, laptops, handheld gadgets, and the like during class hours shall be prohibited unless required. Non-conformity to this rule shall mean this confiscation of the gadget. So we know that cell phones are really very, very essential. But if you are caught using it during class hours and not for academic purposes, then it might be confiscated. Okay? So yun. And we also have the parent volunteer program, field trips, but these are not yet applicable at the moment. We have home involvement and extra and co-curricular activities. So the students are encouraged to maximize their membership and officership in the different clubs or organizations in and off the campus. Likewise, students are urged to join and participate in all contest eliminations conducted in the school for the division, provincial, regional, national, and international competitions. Okay, so that's it. Now, on page 21 and 22, you can see there the elementary and junior high school exam permit and clearance. Okay, for senior high school, you can see the clearance of grade 11 ABM and the STEM on pages 23 to 24 respectively. Then for grade 12 ABM and STEM, you can see the clearances on pages 25 to 26 respectively. Okay, now what are these letters or correspondences that you can see from pages 27 and so on? Okay, first, page 27, letter to parents. This is a letter to be written by your advisor to your parents. Okay, So if your advisor would like to report something to your parents, then he or she will write the information here. For example, if you are often tardy when coming to class, frequently absent from class, habitually violating school rules and regulations, exhibiting lack of interest in class and in doing tasks and activities, and other reasons. So the advisor will schedule a conference with your parent for these reasons. That is on page 27. Okay, next, page 30. Ito naman, page 30, guys. On page 30, you can see here the correspondence. So there's a note here that it is to be accomplished by the parent or guardian to the advisor. So ito, isusulat ito ng parents nyo pag may letter sila para sa advisor. So the advisor should also regularly check the correspondence part, or your role, dear students, is to inform the advisor that your parent has a letter to her, okay, or to him. So kapag may letter si father, si mother, or si guardian para sa advisor or the subject teacher, you tell para mabasa nila. Okay? So that is on page 30. Next one, page 33. O ito, if you want to leave the campus for valid reasons, take note. Dito kayo mag-fill out sa page 33. Permit to leave the campus. Okay? So yan. Then the prefect of discipline kay Teacher Sunny, kayo magpapasign ng permit to leave the campus. Next one, ito, excuse letter for absences. If you have been absent, okay, ito yung excuse letter, ito yung template ng excuse letter. So ito, isusulat ito ng parents nyo. So dear teacher Danny, kunwari, o kaya dear teacher Bell, or dear teacher Therese, etc. My child, yung name nyo yan, my child, tapos yung name nyo dito, yan, has been absent for kung ilang days from, ito yung date. Pag isa lang, di wag nang lagyan ng to. Ilagay lang yung date dito. Tapos due to, kung ano yung reason. Tapos kung with medical certificate or without medical certificate. Okay? So yan. So yan yung excuse letter for absences. Next. Ito na, admission slip. Ito. Guys, kadalasan itong admission slip nagagamit ito sa mga late. Sa mga late. So kunwari late, ito yung often ito yung often na ginagamit ng mga late admission slip. So if you're tardy, then use this admission slip. If you're also absent, you can also use this. Okay? So aside from your excuse letter na ipapakita kay Teacher Sunny, ito naman yung admission slip. Si Teacher Sunny na rin yung mag-fill out nito. Okay? So kapag may excuse, nag-absent kayo, may excuse letter kayo, after signing the excuse letter, ito na, i-fill out niya na ang admission slip para makapasok kayo sa room. Alright? So there you go. Now, so that's on the use of the diary. I hope you were able to absorb the different provisions in our student handbook, or also known as the diary. So if you have questions, you can still ask your advisor, or you can watch this video over and over again. Okay, so let's now proceed to the different additional matters. Okay, so if you can see in the screen, we have the teacher's professional or school or work Facebook account. Yes, we created another Facebook account. This Facebook account will be used solely for work, okay, for school, to communicate with you, our dear students. Okay, that's why we did not add our acquaintances which are not connected to BHC. So the teachers, the high school teachers just added um, BHC students, alumni pwede na rin, and parents. Okay. Para dito sila makipag-communicate sa amin. But take note, we would also like to inform you that teachers also have their personal life and personal space. That's why in their personal accounts, in our personal accounts, um, we would like to have our personal space in there. Okay, so we request you to send your messages about school matters to our professional accounts. The one that you can see here, yung may cover photo na may logo at building ng BHC. During class hours sana. Okay? Siyempre, we would also want to have our work-life balance na kapag after ng work, sa gabi, we would spend time with our families also and our loved ones. Kaya, ganon. Anyway, may face-to-face naman na. So if you have questions, tapos pasukan nyo, may pasok kayo, itanong nyo na kaagad kay teacher, di ba? So that you would not be asking him or her late at night, 'di ba? Baka tulog na si teacher, nagtatanong pa kayo, 'di ba? So hindi na kagaya nung dati na naka-distance learning tayo. So okay lang noon na kahit late na. Pero ngayon, since we have face-to-face classes na, let's respect each other's personal space and personal time, 'di ba? So 'yun. Okay, so okay lang ba 'yun, guys? All right. So again, if for school matters, academic matters, please message the teacher through their professional account during class hours. So we are opening the school, our professional account from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Ayan, from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. So you can message us through our professional accounts from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Beyond that, we would be using already our personal accounts for our work-life balance. Taray, di ba? Anyway, so let's proceed. There you go, the schedule. Okay, so since we are on a limited face-to-face classes, our schedule is also let's say also limited to some subjects that can be taken in a day. So let's try to see the general schedule of junior high school. We do not have yet the specific schedule for the time of each subject, but what we have is the general schedule. So let's try to look at this one. So there you go. Okay. So this is the general schedule of junior high school from grade 7 to 10. As you can see, it's divided into two groups. Okay, so guys, ito siya. Monday, it's for group 1, 7:30 to 12:30. They will have their math, English, science, Filipino, and araling panlipunan. On Tuesday, it will be again for group 1, who will have their math, English, science, Filipino, and araling panlipunan. Okay. Now, Wednesday is like a rendezvous point. Parang ito yung meet kayo. But take note, we are still on a limited face-to-face classes. So we cannot afford to have you all in the campus on a Wednesday at the same time. That's why we are dividing the group into two, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. So on a Wednesday, sino ang pupunta ng umaga? Since 5 yung subjects ng Wednesday for group 2, So from 7:30 to 12:30, yung group 2 sa Wednesday, magma-math, English, Science, Filipino, and AP sila. And group 1 will have their classes in the afternoon, 1 to 3 p.m. only for TLE and MAPE. Yun lang, ganon. Okay? So again, so Wednesday, sa umaga, 7:30 to 12:30, it will now be group 2 for their math, English, Science, Filipino, and AP. And in the afternoon of Wednesday, from 1 to 3 p.m., it will now be the schedule of the TLE and MAPE of Group 1. Ayan, so ganyan sa Wednesday. For Thursday, you will have the Group 2 will have their Math, English, Science, Filipino, and AP. And on Friday, Group 2 will have their TLE and MAPE. But note, it's from 8 to 10 a.m. only. Okay, kasi dalawang subjects lang naman yun. 8 to 9, 9 to 10. Now, saan papasok ang ESP? ESP will be done online. So, online synchronous ang ESP. So, it's from 1 to 2 p.m. of Friday. Or depending on the preferred schedule of the subject teacher. But as of now, it's scheduled 1 to 2 p.m. of Friday, online synchronous. Okay, so this is the general classes schedule of junior high school, grade 7 to 10. It says here in the note at the bottom that days with no limited face-to-face classes, take note, days with no limited face-to-face classes will be used as asynchronous classes for all subjects. So yung mga araw na hindi kayo naka face-to-face, asynchronous yon. So you will be working on your activities in the Google Classroom or yung mga inassign na gagawin sa book, etc. Okay? But take note, since this is not yet final, this is schedule may subject to changes. All right, so that's for the general classes schedule for junior high school. Let's now proceed to senior high school. Before we will have the schedule, let me first present the senior high school matrix of subjects. Since we are limited or we are having limited face-to-face classes, we cannot also afford to have all the subjects in one day since we have half day only. That is why subjects are classified or are grouped per quarter. So instead of having 8 to 9 subjects in one semester, that is 2 quarters, we had it done per quarter on a lesser number of subjects. That's why, for example, in first semester kasi sa grade 11, 9 subjects sila. So hinati na lang siya ng 4, 5. So for quarter 1, the subjects are philosophy, Wika, Earth and Life Science. Then, ito na yung specialization. We have pre-cal sa STEM and then business math sa ABM. For quarter 2 ng grade 11, we have Gen Math, Oral Com, MTech, PerDev, and then PE and Health 11. For quarter 3 ng grade 11, we have Statistics and Probability, Practical Research 1. Then we have the Disaster Risk Reduction for STEM and Physical Science for ABM. And then Gen Chem 1 for STEM and Organization and Management for ABM. Kapag nag-specialization na ang senior high school, maghihiwalay ng room ang STEM tsaka ABM. So yun, okay? Pero sa mga subjects na walang naka-specify ng STEM tsaka ABM, ibig sabihin parehas ang subject ng STEM tsaka ABM doon. Ang tawag doon core subjects. Yung may naka-specify na STEM tsaka ABM, ang tawag doon ay specialization subjects. Now for quarter 4 of grade 11, we have reading and writing skills, pananaliksik, PN Health 11, and then we have basic calculus for STEM and accounting 1 for ABM. So that's for grade 11. Now for grade 12, for quarter 1, we have lit, or literature, then MIL or media and information literacy, contemporary arts, UCSP, that's um, um, politics. Yan. That's understanding culture, society, and politics. But UCSP grade 12 students will be done online. Okay. Then we have Gen Bio 1 for STEM and business finance for ABM. Because UCSP, your instructor for UCSP is a law student. Okay. Law student. Kaya online siya. So she's a part-time student, a part-time instructor. Okay. Quarter 2, we have practical research 2, Filipino 12, PE and Health 12, Gen Physics 1 for STEM and marketing for ABM. And for quarter 3, we have entrepreneurship, PE and Health 12, General Physics 2 for STEM and Ethics for ABM. And finally, for quarter 4, we have English for academic and professional purposes, inquiries, investigations, and immersion, Capstone, Gen Bio 2 for STEM, Applied Economics for ABM, Gen Chem 2 for STEM, and Accounting 2 for ABM. So this is the matrix of subjects for senior high school. That's why the schedule for senior high school for the for grade 12 rather, for the first quarter, ito muna grade 12. So lahat ng grade 12 magkakasama from Mondays to Wednesdays. So your schedule will be from 7:30 to 11:30, covering lit, MIL, contemporary arts, and then your specialization na maghihiwalay ka ng classroom. So that's from Monday to Wednesday. And then in the afternoon, you will have your understanding culture, society, and politics from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. and that will be online synchronous. Okay? So that's for the general schedule for grade 12 for the first quarter. Now for the grade 11 students, ayan. Since, sabi ko nga kanina, Wednesday is like a rendezvous point, okay, we cannot have you all in the same schedule. That's why grade 11 having lesser subjects will have the afternoon schedule. Anyway, in the afternoon, you'll just have from 1 to 3 p.m. only. We have Earth and Life Science, tapos yung specialization nyo na pre-cal sa STEM at Business Math sa ABM. And then for Thursdays, ito na umaga na kayo, 7:30 to 11:30. We have Philosophy, KPWKP, that's Wika, yung KPWKP, Filipino yan, Wika. Then Earth and Life Science, then pre-cal for STEM and Business Math for ABM. Then same subjects for grade 11 on Friday. Yan. So again, these are not yet final. This may subject to changes. So expect the actual schedule by the end of this week. Okay. There you go. And let's now proceed to other matters that you need to know and you need to comply. Okay. And what are those? First, you might be asking, anong oras ang recess or break? Anong oras sa 7:30 to 12:30 ang recess namin or break namin? Ayan. So, the answer there is wala. Okay? Walang specific na schedule. So, there is no specific schedule for recess or break since nobody is allowed to go to the canteen. However, take note, however, you can eat your baon or packed merienda inside the classroom during the third or fourth period subjects. Okay? We suggest you to bring your own baon and take note, your own plastic or garbage bag where you will place your wastes. Okay? Magbaon na lang kayo. But I think since you cannot go to the canteen is still open, but they will be asking for orders. So I think they will be asking for orders the day before so that it will be delivered to the classrooms the next day. So you have two options. Either you will bring your own baon or packed merienda. Kasi hindi naman na kayo magla-lunch sa school. Uwi na kayo ng lunchtime. So you bring your baon or packed merienda. Then you can eat it. It's like a working break. Okay. During the third or fourth period subjects. And after eating, you throw your own garbage or your own waste to your own in your own plastic bag or garbage bag. So each student must bring his or her own plastic or garbage bag. Huwag yung sobrang laking garbage bag, kahit yung mga plastic bag lang. Then you can throw it afterwards at designated trash bins and not anywhere. Okay? So there you go. I hope this is clear. Next, what to bring? Okay, a lot of you are asking what to bring. What are the materials? So notebooks. Actually, the number of notebooks needed equals the number of subjects for junior high school. And that is 8, since you have 8 subjects in junior high school. But you may also use a binder. Moreover, your science teacher may also require you to use the BHC notebook for laboratory activities. So you just have to wait for the instruction of your science teacher. How is the laboratory activities be written or where it will be written? Okay. For senior high school, you may have 3 to 4 notebooks or a binder. Next, still on what to bring, writing materials. Of course, you have ball pens, colored pens, pencil, etc. You may also bring correction tape or fluid in case you need to erase some things that you have written using a ball pen. Then letter D, you bring essentials like extra face mask, of course, and your own alcohol or sanitizer. As you have watched in the simulation video, you are prohibited to borrow personal belongings of other students. And then your own baon or packed merienda, as mentioned earlier, and your own plastic or garbage bag, again, as mentioned earlier. Then, ito na, other requirements, okay? Guys, you need to submit a clear photocopy or printed scanned copy or printed picture of your PSA birth certificate. Okay, there are those in the older levels or higher levels who have already submitted this, but there are still many of you who haven't submitted any. You need to place it inside a long white folder with your name. Okay, you submit it to your advisor on or before August 15, 2022. Okay, I repeat, you need to submit a clear photocopy or printed scanned copy or printed picture of your PSA birth certificate. Place it inside the long white folder with your name. Submit it to your advisor on or before August 15, 2022. All right. I think August 15 is a Monday. So there you go. That ends our orientation for the conduct of limited face-to-face classes. Thank you very much, my dear students. Please be safe and healthy always, and let's all have a great year. Bye.